and he took shelter of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj in 1990. He was initiated in Melbourne in 1990. Prabhu served His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj as a personal servant, as a cook, as a secretary from 1992 to 1999. And shortly after that, he was also serving at the ISKCON of Houston Temple, going forward as the Director of Education, which is a service that he holds today. Prabhu has taught, has facilitated and taught Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Sadachar, and Bhakti Vaibhava courses. He holds a degree in Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhava, and has conducted various holy name retreats, Vaishnava Sadachar, Vaishnava etiquette courses all across the world. Prabhu actively travels to Hong Kong, China. He also travels to Australia every year. Prabhu is currently serving as also an ISKCON initiating spiritual master. We're very fortunate to have Prabhu with us. The Prabhu today would be speaking on the topic of importance of Vaishnava Sadachar. Sadachar meaning etiquette. How do we engage with life? How do we keep the prime purpose of serving their lordships? And how do we cultivate Vaishnava relationships? So we'll be hearing from Prabhu. A lot of us have been wanting to hear on this topic of Sadachar. So with further ado, we'll be requesting Prabhu to speak on it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Great Radha Krishna Prabhu ki.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I think the introduction was longer than the class. All right, so good to see all of you. What I'm going to present is on what Vaishnava etiquette or Vaishnava Sadachar is about. Some of you may know it. Some of you, for you, it may be a new thing, but it's something you may be already doing it, but not clearly understanding it. And the basis of Vaishnava behavior. Well, before that, this course that I do, it's actually it's a 10-week course, and I'm supposed to speak in less than an hour. Yay! Haribo! So let's see. Now the basis of Vaishnava behavior is the understanding that Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the supreme enjoyer, and that everything should be done for His pleasure. Thank you. Yeah. And it should be done without any personal motivation. So that is a key thing. Our behavior should center around that principle. And there are other principles which are more important, but essentially the devotee should understand the concept of sadachar, or behavior. Sadachar means proper behavior, good behavior, okay? And it's the basis of dharma or religion also. We find that when we follow some religious teachings and so on, there are always some rules you have to follow, do's and do nots. So it's very important. But if you don't maintain the standard, then you won't be able to realize principles properly. And if you don't realize principles, there's a tendency, or there's a definite case of giving it up or falling down in terms of practices. So Vedic culture, which Vaishnava etiquette is centered around, is based on all of these teachings. Okay, and the culture that you carry is maintained by your behavior. Okay, all right. So let's see. First, we'll try to give you understanding of what Vaishnava etiquette. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Avatarakaya Prabhu Nama Prachare Senijakaya Prabhu Kare Nato Maradware. And the translation, the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for which he has descended as an incarnation, is to spread the importance of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Now instead of personally doing so, he's spreading it through you. He's spreading it through who? Haridas Thakur, yes. Pratyah Karitina Laksha Nama Sankitan Sabara Age Kara Namira Mahima Katana. My dear sir, you are chanting the holy name 300,000 times daily and informing everyone of the importance of such chanting. All this you can find in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So if you want to know more, Srila Prabhupada's purpose are there, you can look at it. Apena chayare keha nakare prachara karena keha nakarena achar. This is very important. Some behave very well but do not preach the cult of Krishna consciousness, whereas others preach but do not behave properly. Yeah? Every one of you have encountered that. Yeah? and you wonder, what is this? You know? Are Krishna conscious people like that, or are people like that Krishna conscious? Right? So we wonder sometimes. And that sometimes attracts one to the practice, or it pushes away. Right? Sometimes you have a bad behavior. First time you walk into a temple room, someone say, "Hey, don't walk in this way. You know, why are you wearing the shoes?" You know, without even thinking the consequences of our action. So it's therefore very important how we behave, how we treat others. What is the purpose behind it? Why we want to treat them nicely also. One should reflect and think about. Achara prachara name rakhara hai dui karya tumi sarva guru tumi jagatara arya. You simultaneously perform both duties in relation to the holy name by your personal behavior and by your preaching. Therefore, you are the spiritual master of the entire world, for you are the most advanced devotee in the world. Because Haridas Thakur, he does both. His behavior is exemplary. It's very, very wonderful personality. And he also chants and he preaches nicely. Many pastimes you can know how even one time a prostitute came and how he helped her understand the purpose of life, and she became such a glorious devotee that even the entire village came to take shelter of her. So these are very important things, that if we behave in such a way and act in such a way, then let's say in Sydney, people who see us, they will say, these people are so wonderful. So nice. Then you won't have any complaints and you can build your temple very fast. You know. Takes so long. Okay. Mahaprabhu then talks to Sanatan Goswami. Yadyapyo tumiha jagat pavana Thomas Parshe Pavitra Hai Deva Muni Gana Tatapi Bhakta Swabhava Maryada Rakshana Maryada Palana Hai Sadhura Bhushana. Bhushana means like ornamenting oneself, decorating. My dear Sanatana, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, and although even the demigods and great saints are purified by touching you, it is a characteristic of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnava etiquette. Maintenance of the Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of devotee. Now you can see the importance. It's very important how we behave, because it signals to others who we are, what we are, the principles we stand for, and how we can, by our behavior, not only do we capture the hearts of devotees, other devotees, we also capture the heart of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So nothing can be successful without proper behavior. Every action should be performed with that understanding. So Mahaprabhu gives so much importance to this Sadachar, and he ordered Sanatana Goswami to actually write this behavior, how to do it nicely and so on. Actually, and then he told him to write, which is the Hari Bhakti Vilas. Okay, the book where we use Vaishnava principles, Vaishnava rituals and so on. And this book was actually originally conceived of by Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And then Sanatana Goswami then helped finish it off, yeah. And he told Sanatana Goswami to give a general ideas but specific descriptions, so that anyone who reads, they can understand what to do, what to be done and what not to be done. So these are some principles. If you read Nectar of Devotion, there's a lot of do's and do nots also. Nectar of Instruction also is very good to read also. Continuing. Maryada langana loka kare upasa ihaloka paraloka duhai nasha. If one transgresses the laws of etiquette, people make fun of him, and thus he is vanquished in both this world and the next. So sometimes you act funny as a devotee, people will think we are a bunch of clowns, right? So even when you go on Harinam and so on, you must have a standard behavior, standard dancing and so on. But if you do anyhow, then it's that's right. It'll be a funny thing. We'll be like a circus. Yeah. So it's important. It's very important, because you want people to respect devotees, and in respecting devotees, automatically they get the mercy of the Lord. Because devotees are very dear to Krishna. So by behaving properly, anyone who treats us nicely, they immediately get the blessings of the Lord. They then have the ability to understand principles also. Oftentimes you find when you talk to someone or when you try to encourage them to take up certain things, they can't, because they don't have the adhikar. But by our behavior, by our affection to them, by how we relate to them, they are able to cross over that hurdles that are blocking them, the karma that's holding them back. We become the medium by which we can raise them above that fallen conditions. So it's very important for us not to transgress the etiquette principle. We will be very humble until we get initiated, then we don't listen to anyone. Yeah, what is this? So those things will send wrong signals, even to a newer bhakta or bhaktin. They'll think, what is this? It's just like any other organization. You get promoted, then you can step on other people's head. Yeah, right. So the other thing is Maryada Rakela Tusta Khaile Mora Mana Tumi Aiche Na Karile Kare Konjana. Mahaprabhu says, by observing the etiquette, you have satisfied my mind. Who else but you could show this example? So it's very important, this statement. He says, who else but you could show this example? So he likes it. But what is the first sentence? He said, you have satisfied my mind. So if you behave nicely, Mahaprabhu will be satisfied with all of us. Right? So why only one or two people should satisfy Mahaprabhu? Shouldn't we all be satisfying Mahaprabhu? And when Mahaprabhu is satisfied, just imagine how empowered each of you will become. How much you can touch people's heart, and you can raise them to the standard that you want to aspire, as well others to aspire to that position. So it's very, very nice if you think about it. Mahaprabhu is so happy with Sanatan because of his behavior. Very nice, no? So if you behave nicely, Prabhupada will be happy, devotees around you will be happy. Of course, if you have someone who's always abusing power and so on, that's a different story. But essentially, if all of us understand these principles and behave properly, Mahaprabhu is pleased and he will protect us also. So you won't be abused. If you do, just file a complaint. Yeah, hopefully it's taken care of. You can walk to Shri Radha Gopinath and say, I'm filing a complaint. Yeah. And then you're done. You don't have to do anything else because they will take care of us. Yeah. They're very merciful. Yeah. Right. So in the highest sense, Sadachar is the intrinsic behavior of the Atma, actually. The natural behavior of the Atma. That means Jivera Swarupoi, Krishnera Nityadas. That means we are supposed to behave like a servant. Yeah. How does a servant behave? So we have to figure out. And so Vaishnava Sadachar helps us to become a good servant. That's the whole thing. It's not really rocket science, you know. You don't need to know formulas or calculus and everything like that. You just know how to behave. Just behave properly. Yeah? And and you find that this natural behavior is exhibited by exalted Vaishnavas. Right? You will see that. Sometimes you see senior Vaishnavas, how they have loving exchanges with one another, and you're thinking, oh, that's so nice, you know. But when it comes to your own friends and so on, you're like, get the hell out of my side, you know. Yeah, right? Right or not? So that means we have a problem. And that's why we are stuck here. Yeah. So one should be intelligent enough to think about, why am I doing all this chanting and dancing and reading and so on? What is the intent behind all that, right? There should be a real transformation when we do all these things. And one of the signs of transformation is your behavior. It changes. And it changes so much that the other person becomes so attracted to the way you behave. Not so much how you look or appear, you know, it's how you behave. And that's what we want each and every one of you to understand and take home with you and say, how in 5 years, how people are going to look at me. Don't talk about 5 years. How next week they'll look at me. Yeah, right? Yeah. So exalted Vaishnavas, they have this wonderful behavior or quality, and so we want to do. So for a neophyte, what happens is that we have no choice but to implement rules and regulations. That's the difference. So then we know, by following these rules and regulations, we can come to that stage of exaltedness, you know. But part of being able to cultivate those qualities, we should be able to show reverence to devotees also. Because oftentimes we don't know how to behave or respect one another. So, like when I join, every day we see a devotee will pay down, you know, obeisances. Now we look at each other, we go like that. So the Sadachar, something gone wrong. So, so therefore, externally we have to impose these rules and injunctions and so on. And if a neophyte devotee performs this sadhana bhakti and they know how the practice is going to enliven them, not only enliven them, it also going to bring them into new discovery of what Vaishnavism is all about. Yeah. And it's a joyful experience. Yeah? Yeah? And then eventually you find that it's a never-ending happiness. And that is Vrindavan, Sri Vrindavan. Right? When you go to Vrindavan, they are always happy. So, ideal devotee means one who's following in accordance with the Vaishnava principles. And if each of you follow nicely, you're automatically Acharya. So don't think you're Acharya yet, but you're following in the footsteps of the Acharya. You will set examples for others, right? If you behave very well and if you show good qualities, a lot of others would want to emulate your behavior also. Especially children, right? If the father stands in a certain way, the little boy also will stand in a certain way. Yeah, have you seen that? Yeah, it's kind of cute, but it's good if it's a good behavior. So if the father is smoking cigarette like that, then the kid will stand next to him and smoke like that. And that's bad behavior, bad examples. So we don't want that, yeah? So a teacher is one who sets good examples for others to follow. And each and every one of us is a teacher for the entire public. So it's not that when you come through the door, then you are, so humble and nice with tilak and all. But when you go out, you're like, I'm free. I'm a free master. I'm free. It's not like that. It's you go out there also, people look at you and they must say, these are nice people. I want to know them. That's one thing in our culture. That's Vaishnava culture. You would also read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, wherever the devotees went, right? After Mahaprabhu empowers them, they go wherever and they chant and dance. Everyone also becomes like them. That's the potency. If you follow nicely, you get the blessings of the Lord. And you can change other people's heart. You can transform others very nicely. In general, we all have a tendency, because we are in the material world, we have a tendency to move towards material direction in general. But therefore we should be very careful. Because when we move towards the material direction, the tendency is for us to enjoy our senses. We will invariably end up wanting to enjoy our senses. Now to reverse that process is what the whole sadhana bhakti and following sadachar is all about. It's so that we can lift you out of the pool of ignorance, Right? Before you became a devotee, there's so many things you didn't know that was good for you. Right? Some of us have been practicing for so long. You just reflect and see what were you 5 or 10 years ago and what you are now. Isn't that so wonderful? Right? Yeah? So you should be grateful also to the fact that you have been gifted this. And therefore, it's our onus to go and share it. And therefore, Mahaprabhu said, Yara deka tareka Krishna upadesh, because it's good for them, just as it has been good for us. Yeah, so it's important. Okay, so the definition now, after all that. It's a nice definition. The Hari Bhakti Vilas describes Vaishnava etiquette as the behavior of a pure devotee. Since nothing can be successful without sadachar or etiquette, every action should be performed with proper etiquette. We must act according to proper etiquette. Say like the kids, they come and go because they haven't been trained. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. But they have not been trained. So those training must be there. And then you'll find they will be very respectful because they know this is important. That I shouldn't go in and run out as I like, But because we don't think it's important, and therefore we create a demon. Yeah, because then they transgress the rules, and then who transgresses rules? Only asuras. Devotees will always follow rules, yeah. We must act according to proper etiquette. The heart of a saintly person is free from contamination. So you should also look at your own life and see how I can get my heart free of contamination. The way a saintly person acts is known as Sadachar. You all should know this definition, so that you can always look at it and then understand I should behave in a certain way. Or when you have a disagreement with one another, then you reflect on this definition and then you'll say, you know what, I should behave such that Krishna is pleased with me. And find ways to bridge that. So this is the behavior of a sadhu, one who is striving to attain the highest object and to become perfect. Aren't we all here to become perfect? Yes? No? Thank you. At least some of you want to go back to Godhead. Right? Yeah. So sad means proper and achar means conduct. So proper behavior, it's conduct. Yeah. Okay, let's look at some of the rules. Now you can understand why we need rules and regulations. So then we know how we can navigate our own lives properly in Krishna consciousness. If there were no rules, if Prabhupada said, no, you don't have to do anything, it's chaos. We won't have the organization anyway. Yeah. All right, the next slide is just from Nectar of Instruction, text 2. I just want to highlight the highlighted part. All right. The main thing here is niyamagraha, rules and regulations, too much attachment to or too much neglect of the rules. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, those interested in Krishna consciousness, okay, this is for only those who are interested in Krishna consciousness, should not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic advancement. Okay, think carefully. Yet they should very faithfully accept scriptural rules and regulations for the advancement of Krishna consciousness. So that's the principle. We follow the rules for advancing. We want to advance our Krishna consciousness. And one of the key things to advance is they should strictly follow the regulated principles of avoiding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling and intoxication. If we don't follow this, then practicing bhakti will be ineffective. You're not going to see any results. It's like pouring oil on water. Okay? No, pouring oil on fire. Yeah. But sadachar without bhakti is similarly contradictory. Okay? If you don't have bhakti and you're just a good person, it's also useless. At the end of the day, or at the end of your life, you die and there's an obituary, he was a good man. Yeah. But if you're a devotee, then it's wonderful. Everyone will always be glorifying you, just like we are glorifying Prabhupada. It'll be forever. Yeah. So that's important. Now here is a very, very important principle that you should take it with you for the rest of your life. Smartavya sadatam Vishnu vishmartavya na jatusya sarve vidhi nishedaya shur etayor eva kinkaraha. It's a very nice verse that's from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela and also from Padma Purana. Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Krishna is the origin of Vishnu. Prabhupada puts that in bracket so that we don't lose focus. Should always be remembered and never forgotten at all, any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastra should be the servants of these two principles. Okay? So that eva kinkaraha means all the other rules are made servants to this principal rule. Okay? It's the fundamental thing. Whatever we do in our life, whatever you are trying to achieve, you should ask yourself, does it let me think of Krishna? I'm going to buy a 5-room apartment or house. Is it going to let me think of Krishna? Up to you all. Right? Some people, I know many people, I'm going to buy a house, so we're going to have program, man. Every time we're going to have program. After 1 year, no program, Actually, after 1 month, It's a rare opportunity. It's just like, taking a human birth is rare. So they're having a program in their house is like that. Bahunam janmanamante. So whatever we do, anything, you want to purchase things or you want to start something, you ask yourself, how it's going to affect me that I can remember Krishna? Or if my pursuance of this career or something is going to make me forget Krishna. Sometimes people make choices, but then later on they may be good devotees, but because of a choice, you don't see them at all. So then how can they remember Krishna? You can't see Krishna on your own at home. You can see Krishna through the association of devotees. That's how you see Krishna. Yeah. That's how you see Krishna. You can't see Krishna any other way, No way. No way, Jose, as they say. Yeah. So whatever rules you want to follow because you feel excited about something, you want to follow Ekadasi, Vrat 24 hours, you want to not take water and then do this severe nirjala, but if you're only thinking of water, then you have to think of the verse, Raso Ham Apsa Kontaya. Then every time you think of water, you think of that verse, you think of Krishna. Yeah, so it's all connected. It's actually not so difficult because we are always, instead of keeping Krishna in our lives, we keep materialism in our life. And that's part of the problem. And many of you are very intelligent, so you will figure out ways to become more Krishna conscious, I hope. Yeah. So another key point is to follow rules and regulations. We all have to become sattvic. Sattvic means? Yes, thank you. Sometimes I'm an old person, I forget, so you all should help me out. So who is a sattvic person? A brahmana is sattvic, right? We know brahmana is supposed to be sattvic. But in our Vedic system, it doesn't matter. Even the habits of sattva should be even in the Vaishyas, the Shudras, and even in Kshatriyas also. Although they may be doing their duty, but they may be doing sattvic activities also. Like, for example, I can't hear. Chanting, reading Shastra, doing Arti. So you have to inculcate those principles in your lifestyle. And so you will gradually but surely attain sattva. Yeah? So it's important. Even offering respect to a superior will raise your consciousness. But if you don't offer respect, it will, it brings down, Not only that, if you are very harsh and offensive to a senior person, not necessarily even a devotee, you will lose your lifespan. Oh no, I've got so many things to do. right? Everyone has plans. Keep making plans, but then you're reducing your lifespan. So be careful. So if you put yourself in the center and not put who in the center? Krishna. Then you will become less and less Krishna conscious. Yeah. Because then you are thinking of your sense enjoyment. And therefore the rules cannot work. The rule says, do I remember Krishna? So when you are wanting to enjoy your senses, who are you remembering? Yourself. Or the sense. You become the sense actually. When you watch Netflix, then you become the eyes. You become, you are the eyes. And when you eat something that you're not supposed to eat, you become the tongue. Yeah. But you're not thinking of Krishna. So good. Yeah. All of you are leaders actually in the society. You are leaders to someone who will look up to you. So therefore the onus is on you to set good examples. You know, you may never know, years from now someone will come to you and say, you know, I saw you do this and I heard you say that and that changed my life. And that's amazing, you know. So who will you be grateful to? You should be grateful to Srila Prabhupada because he gave us all of this knowledge so that we can help so many others who are not so fortunate. Right? So one of the things that I would recommend all of you to do when you go home, this is homework, yeah. I'm not going to check your homework, but you go you go and keep a journal. Journaling is very, very good. And in the journal you write things you are grateful for being a devotee of Krishna. And if you have problems also, you can write the problems down. And you can write to Radha Gopinath and say, Dear Radha Gopinath, yesterday I abused a few devotees in the temple room. Yeah, you can write it down and then you say, I don't know what to do about this. I need help. And as you write down, it's a confession, right? And because nowadays, you know, what is that? You have to reveal your mind confidentially, right? So you try to reveal, then it's in Facebook after a few days, you know. So therefore, first you try it out with Sri Sri Radha Gopinath and see if it comes out in Facebook. Yeah, so if you take the responsibility to become the ideal servant of Krishna, that means you are always concerned about how I'm pleasing Krishna. Right? The concern is, am I pleasing Krishna? Some ways you know is the devotees around you, right? Are they happy with the way you're doing things, your service and so on and so forth? Okay, let's move on. Rules and regulations. Okay, now is things you may know or you may not know. One must offer respect, which I've highlighted earlier, and obeisances to superiors like the Guru, the Lord and his devotees. We must also respect superior relatives like the parents or, you know, uncles and so on. Sometimes they may not like Krishna consciousness, but you should still respect them, because some of you should understand this thing. You are what you are because of your relatives also. You became devotees because of them also. Yeah? So therefore, you should be grateful that they treated you in a way that made you a devotee. Right? You have to spin it in the positive way. You cannot see them, I hate them, you know. You can't see it like that. Boy, I hate them so much. You can't think like that. Rather, you should think they have somehow made me become a devotee. Because of their actions, I became devotee. So I am grateful for them. Krishna spoke through them. Remember Bilva Mangal Thakur? Right? When Chintamani said those words, he remembered his spiritual master. Yeah. So similarly, when we have exchanges with devotees and so on, we should always try to see, is Krishna talking through this person? They may be shouting at you. It may be difficult, but when you journal and you practice sincerely, there will come a time when you can actually appreciate, this person is trying to help me go back to Godhead. Now I know why I need to go back to Godhead, because of this person. So it's important, and when you behave in that way, then there are good examples in the community, right? And when there are good examples, then there's the famous verse, Yad Yad Achariti Shrestha Stattat Evatoro Janaha. Everybody will look up to you, or to look up to a few good examples. How long do I have? Oh no. All right, okay. Okay, respect people. Rise before 4 a.m. and attend Mangalarati. Jai! Everyone's so excited. Okay, why is it good? Okay, nice, Brahma Muhurta. What does it mean by Brahma Muhurta? Yeah, that is true. But Brahma Muhurta means it's the time Lord Brahma himself worships Krishna. So if he's doing it, it must be a good time, Yeah. So therefore we should also follow in his footsteps. The other thing is Mangala Arti. Mangala means? Yeah, it's auspicious. So why we don't want auspiciousness in our life? Why? Laziness. Yeah, laziness is in the mode of. So which one do you want to cultivate? Okay, so what do you want to do now? It's your choice anyway, because if you want to go back to Godhead, you have to do some things. Remember, it's for the neophytes, we have to do it. We have to do it. To go back to Godhead, we have to do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah. So when you all do it in that right mood, it's very, very, it's a happy experience actually. You feel it actually. Because Krishna in your heart is happy also. And you feel that joy of coming together and singing to Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. And you can see them, just if you look carefully, you'll see them dance with you. Yeah. So if one of you do it, two of you do it, you are actually leading the entire congregation here. You are the leader. Yeah. So Shrestha means great man. And common man is people who don't know anything and they will follow. Right? Alright, these are principles that make you or keep you in mode of goodness. After waking up, one should first brush one's teeth and afterwards take a bath. Not take bath and then brush teeth. Now, there are many people who do that. Yeah. And you are very exalted. Yeah. In a different way. Yeah. Alright, so this is I know some people will take shower and brush at the same time. Also bad. That's not good. It's not the way we should teach our children also. Bad habits. This one, bathe after passing stool. Many of you may say you know, but we know cases where brahmanas who are dressing deities, they go, they do it and come back and still dress deities. And then after many years they say, I never knew this. Why do you think they didn't know? They were not trained. What else? The most important thing. They did not read Prabhupada's books. You all have to read Prabhupada's book. Why you have to read Prabhupada's book? This is sidebar. So that you will understand Prabhupada's mood and mission. Yes. And in his books, he says all these things. Right? If you don't take a bath, you immediately become in the mode of ignorance, and therefore you cannot understand Shastra and things like that, or good instructions. People will tell you, this is good for you, do it. You're like, when will he, blah, 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 shut up, Yeah, it's true. That's why we make a lot of mistakes. Wash with water after passing urine, your hands, feet, and rinse your mouth also. Wash hands after drinking water. This is done because when one holds a cup while drinking, one's hands actually become contaminated. Yeah. So always do that. And in the old days, they will drink like waterfall, But when you try, you actually wash your clothing, right or not? Yeah. But it takes some experience. Yeah. Or you can do it with a straw if you are. Use the right hand for eating and drinking. Even if a person is left-handed, he should try to use his right hand. This is for eating and drinking. If you are a southpaw, we call it southpaw in America, left-handed. Yeah. So you can write and do other things, but in general you use right hand for eating, at least minimum. Left hand is for unclean work and inauspicious thing, generally. Okay. So if you can change it, or if you are ambidextrous, is good. Always wear clean clothes. Again, the principle is to be in the mode of goodness, yes. Alright, some clothings like wool is always clean, always. Even if you go to the bathroom, it's still clean. Silk is clean, but if you go to the bathroom, it's not clean. Cotton is only clean until you take it out. That means 24 hours. Then you have to wash it, right? You cannot just take out nicely and keep it and next day wear it again. It doesn't work. You are not clean. Okay? So therefore, all of you have the responsibility to be ideal examples. You have that responsibility. Because some of you are parents, if you don't do it, then your children will follow you. And maybe you want them to follow you that way, but it's not good. Because if you can't follow, then you can't establish authority. And then it will be hypocritical, Why are you doing? You can't tell your son, right? Why are you doing when you are not doing it? Yeah. I remember many years ago in this city I went, and then I was sitting and chanting at that time, and then a bunch of teenagers and young kids, they all came to me. And then, because I come once in a while there, and they say, Prabhu, they were showing me all the houses. This house, they are watching pornography. This house, they don't follow anything. They eat kami food. This house, you know why the kids, they run from one house to another house, and the house is open for kids. Kids are innocent. So, but they are always observing and watching. Yeah. So it's so unfortunate. Right? They are very nice kids, but then they said, I'll never follow this person. He goes to a pub, he drinks alcohol, this one. Yeah. And they know what is right and wrong, and then they see bad examples. Yeah. Not that the devotees who are doing bad examples, bad people, but they are actually not understanding what should be good behavior and bad behavior. Huh? So if you take someone away from Krishna consciousness, do you think Krishna is pleased with you? Yeah, so this is very important. Anytime you fight with someone or you make someone leave the temple, you should start shaking. Because Krishna may come heavy on you. Number 9, never steal anything. Yeah? Maybe someone brought something and put it in front of Prabhupada, some clothing, and then you came and say, hey, I got it's bonus for me. Right? But it's not yours. The only way you can take it is you ask the temple president or some authority and say, I don't have any more saris, I need this. Right? Then you can take it. Or no more dhotis, like that. Yeah. Nice. Never use unpleasant words. In discussion, this is important also. If you are very harsh with people, if you really speak in using languages that are very colorful, then it will hurt the other person. Yeah, and instead of bringing them closer to Krishna, you are again pushing them away. And when you push people away from Krishna, who gets mad with you? Krishna gets mad with you. So you can ask yourself, what do you want Krishna to be with you? If you did that, go home and write in your journal and ask for? Yes, yeah. And never do it again, because you already written it down. One of the things is when you write, you will remember. When you write, you will remember. It's a guarantee. 11, never tell a lie, even if pleasant. Oh, Prabhu, he's like an idiot. Right? It sounds so nice and pleasant. No, you don't even do that, because that person may be so sensitive and they may not like it. You may hurt them. And you never know who among you is a pure devotee. So be very wary. So don't tell lies, because the deities also don't like it. The only time you can tell a lie is to get your daughter married. It's in the Shastra. Or to protect someone's life, provided they are decent people. Never speak ill of others. This is obvious. If you speak ill, you will get reactions. Even if it is true, because the context is speaking ill. So if it's true and you speak ill, then you take 50% of the reaction. Now if it's false and you speak ill, you take 100%. Okay, so now you all decide what do you want. Which percentage you are looking for. 13, yes, 0, yeah. Yeah, so now life becomes tougher now. So these are sadachar. This is how we have to cultivate behavior. Now, who should be speaking about others? It should be managers. They need to make some decisions. They have to talk about others. Then they have to. But they also have to be careful. They have to be very careful. Okay. 13. Do not become inimical to others. Now, don't come to a stage where when you see the other person in the temple room, you have to get on a plane and go to Melbourne, Yeah. So that's not good, because the reason is the super soul is in their hearts. The super soul is in your heart. Krishna loves them just as much as he loves you. So the key is to find out how somehow you have to love this person. Yeah, or at least respect them. Yeah, minimum. Okay? Do not develop friendship with people who are envious, fallen, insane, inimical, extravagant, deceptive, lying, or illicitly related with women or men. Do not develop friendship with unchaste women or men. I mean, Hari Bhakti, it's all women, so I'm adding the men also. Because they are the same nowadays. Yeah. It is, So, this is especially if you're working in a working environment, if you know the person have these qualities, just have a Haribol relationship, a high relationship, Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Why don't you change the tune to something Krishna conscious? Yeah. No, I understand, but I'm saying, why don't you implement that? Yeah. So at least that will be, we will all enjoy some nice kirtan. Yeah. Or we can say, now a word from our sponsor, Hare Krishna sponsor. And this is for sannyasis mainly. Do not travel alone, and brahmacharis also. Yeah, it's not good to be alone. Yeah. Even in aircraft and so on, sannyasis should not travel alone. They should have someone with them. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, if anything goes wrong, then everyone cries. Right? Yeah. The whole community cries. Do not sneeze or yawn without covering the mouth. What is this rule for? Hygiene. Yeah. This wasn't written after COVID, okay? This was written before COVID by Sanatana Goswami. Yeah. Yeah. If you notice, even when you speak, there is spittle flying. So when you are talking to people, you're sharing your compassion and mercy. Yeah. Yeah. All of you are like Mahaprabhu, Namo Mahavadanya, Right, so we have to cover the mouth, yeah. Just imagine, so you have a cup of water and someone comes and talks to you loudly, and then if you take a picture, you can see all the, projectiles coming in, like, Israel shooting in Gaza, So, so cover your mouth, and when you sneeze, even coughing, when you cough, you cough like that. They teach you all that. All right, do not laugh loudly. Present company not accepted, right? So don't worry about it. Basically, loud laughing is equated with demons, ha ha ha, like that. So that's one thing. The second thing is, if you are in a temple room and you just walk in and some devotees are talking something else and they're looking at you, and then the joke comes out and they laugh, and you are thinking, it's about me. Yeah. So you might inadvertently hurt someone. Yeah. So just be careful. And if you do laugh loudly and the person's face drops down, then you should go quickly and say, it's not about you, Yeah. Okay. 18. I should have changed this, because, it says loudly, but does it mean softly is okay? Right? So it should be just don't do it. Yeah. If you have to, then go quickly outside, run left, turn right, and then do it. Okay. All right. Always avoid a crematorium, a garden, and unchaste women and men at night. Right? Crematorium, because there are entities, right? There may be ghosts, there may be goblins, hobgoblins, different types of entities, and you don't want to have a party with them. Yeah. Garden, also same reason. Yeah. Generally, garden, we would say the demigods and so on. But in Kali Yuga, you don't have to worry. Demigods don't want to come here. Yeah. Yeah. It's said like that. Yeah. All right. So don't go alone. Don't go with anybody. Also, it's not good for you. Do not take shelter of a fallen person, someone who don't follow any rules, no etiquette. They just don't care about other people, animals, or anything like that. Right? You will know who's a fallen person. We are not talking about apichetsu duracharo. That is not here. Okay. This is real fallen people out there. It could be a CEO of some company or so on. Yeah, some of them are very fallen. Or could be the president of some country also. Yeah. 21. Neither sleep too much nor stay awake too much. Mostly this is for teenagers, right? They are always up in the night playing with their cell phones, right? What's up? What's up? Right? Yeah. So this is also in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says also same thing, right? Right? Yukta hara vyarascha, the verse, yeah. 22. One's legs should not be outstretched in front of one's elders, also not in front of the deities. Okay? If someone don't know and they do it, don't go and shout at them or get angry unnecessarily. Say it nicely, say we don't do it. It's disrespectful for in our culture, yeah? So they will understand. And usually you should do it in a nice way. Sometimes people cannot handle corrections, yeah? Right? 23. Do not spit while eating, right? So especially during festival time, everyone sit together, and then you see people sometimes eat and spit, yeah. So don't do that. If there's something you have to get it out, use your fingers, take it out and put it aside. Yeah. Leave it as maha for someone else. Yeah. Yeah, but if you spit and give them maha, they don't like it. Generally, they won't take it if you spit it, right? But if you put it in your plate, they'll take it and say, "Oh, maha." You all laugh, but I've seen it, You study psychology, you'll see these people are like that, yeah. All right, never cause any harm to anyone, either directly through words, through your behavior, or even through TikTok, Facebook, or whatever you have, yeah. Don't do that, yeah. Because, a lot of nowadays people have mental health issues, so you should be very careful. So try to do good to others also. Do not associate with unscrupulous people or read scriptures that are not bona fide. You should only read scriptures by Srila Prabhupada and his devotees. Yeah. Don't go and read others. First finish reading Prabhupada. Know Prabhupada's mood, know Prabhupada's mind, his mission, all these things you should understand thoroughly. Then you can read other books. Because if you don't understand Prabhupada's book properly, you will be misled reading other shastras. It may be exciting to read other books, but then they will take you away from Prabhupada's association. So don't do that, yeah? And even, sometimes some of these philosophers, they write their own philosophy, some nonsense they'll write there. And everyone will think it's so great, actually. Yeah. And unscrupulous people are people out to take advantage of you or others, so don't, if you can see semblance of that, no scruples in them, so just stay away from them, yeah. Nicely, so they don't know that you know. Okay, this is also important. Do not mock people who are foolish, insane, distressed, ugly, cunning, lame or fallen, because they may have bad karma. Yeah, so you shouldn't laugh at that. That's not Vaishnava. Vaishnava is Titikshava Karuna. So Vaishnava is compassionate. Yeah. So when someone acts foolishly or always is foolish, that means you should know that they are going through a difficult karma. Yeah. And if they are mad, also they have some karma from past life. So who are we to judge them? Right? Yeah. So similarly, if they are always distressed or they look not the way you want them to look, don't laugh at them or so on. Okay. 27. Do not chastise anyone except sons and disciples to educate them. Alright, so you should be very careful. One time during a festival in one of the temples, a young lady came, but she was wearing short shorts. So then one of these ladies who was not a temple authority, she went and told her, "You can't wear this, you can't do this, blah blah blah," and the lady started crying, And then later on, the devotees went and talked to her, and she said, "I've always looked up to you Hare Krishnas, and I've been sending checks, money every month, and you all take that, and now when I come, this is how you treat me, So although the devotees tried to, appease her and talk to her nicely, she never came back. Yeah. So we should be very careful again how we, talk to people. Don't try to correct anyone. Always, if you see, if the impulse is to correct, hold back. Unless you are a mentor or you are the authority in the temple. Yeah. Why do you want to take the responsibility? Let them scold or whatever. It's easy to be a follower mostly, yeah. But as I said earlier, all of you are actually leaders also. But you should know how to deal with people. 28. Bathe after shaving, copulating, going to a crematorium or funeral. This is obvious, right? It's not clean, otherwise you are not clean. So again, don't shave while showering. Okay? Shave first, brush your teeth, shave, and then go and bathe. Yeah. 29. Do not eat yogurt or chickpea at night, but every ISKCON temple will serve chickpea and yogurt at night at Sunday feast. Because easy to cook, yeah. But it's not good, it's not healthy overall, it's hard to digest. That's the reason Sanatana Goswami is saying. He's one of our acharyas. 30. If one is insulted, one should leave the place silently. Right? Take a humble position, nothing wrong. Unless they are insulting another devotee and you can stand for them, then you do it. Or they insult Srila Prabhupada, then you can, argue with them or prove them that they are wrong. Otherwise, if they are insulting you, you can think, maybe in my last life I insulted them, right? Or maybe I may have been insulting someone else and Krishna is using this person to teach me a lesson. Yeah, so just see if you can tolerate. Never praise yourself, Right? This is very important. Right? There's a song when I was in college studying, this was in 1981, every night the song would go, "Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in everything. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're doing the best that you can." So you shouldn't praise yourself, but you should always try to take the humble position. Yeah, we always, whenever something is done, we're always thinking of, instead of, can I remember Krishna or am I forgetting Krishna? We are thinking, why are they not saying my name? Right? So then we have problem. We have to fix that problem. 32. Never look at a naked woman or man. Before COVID, or just 2020, I looked at the statistics. In schools, by the time, this is US statistics, by the time a boy is 12 years old, out of 5 boys, 3.8 boys have already seen pornography. 12-year-olds. And among 12-year-old girls, 2.8 girls out of 5. That's a very big statistic. So recently I was looking at the statistics for Australia. Australia, mate. So, and they didn't go for the teenage, they didn't go and show that age group, but they was talking about teenagers and college university students. So they had 68% of men and 58% of women looking at naked women or naked men. What for? They're so ugly, It's not good. These things will be in your mind. The impressions that form cannot be taken out. It may take you a whole lifetime to get rid of it. So at all costs avoid it if you can. And also the people who wanted to look at Draupadi naked were all killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. Yeah. When Duryodhana showed his thighs and slapped on it, telling her, come and sit naked, at that time, what did Bhishma say? I'm going to break that and I'm going to kill him. Yeah. And the Lord made sure it happened. And Prabhupada writes in a purport or in a conversation, I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly. He says people who want to see nakedness of others are low-class people. Right? Our Acharya is saying low-class person. So you should always know if you ever see, just immediately close your eyes or whatever. Otherwise, you will be yes. All right, we are in the last leg. Foodstuff should not be placed on one's lap to eat. It's not considered proper. It's offensive. Right? Prasadam and all shouldn't put in your lap to eat. 34. One should not quarrel with one's wife. All the ladies will be happy. Yeah. Sanatana Goswami says this. He says if the man keeps quarreling, the wife will lose faith in the man and she will look for protection somewhere else. So now you can threaten your husband. Yeah. And it's true, because when she doesn't find satisfaction at home, then she's always looking for some unscrupulous man to come and speak sweet nothings to her. Yeah. So therefore, and he says the man should just tolerate. So the wife goes, yes, wife, yes, my dear, yes. And then no more problem. Do not spit on water. This is bodies of water. Okay. Why people sometimes drink water from ponds, lakes or rivers? And another reason? These ponds, lakes and rivers are personalities. So you cannot go and spit. They will curse you or they will put a hex on you. 36. Do not sleep in the temple room unless there is theft or people break in. But actually we shouldn't, because the reason is when everything is closed, Shri Radha Gopinath, Jagannath, Baladev Subhagonida, they sometimes have kirtan here. This is special. So you don't have the eyes, you will never know. I remember one of my god sisters in the 80s, she was dying. She liked to come and see the deities of Shri Radha Kalachandji. So her name was Janaki. So one day they brought her in the last few days of her life, and they brought her in a wheelchair and the door up, just like the boy is trying to sneak in. Right. So they got in, and then she said, stop. And then they all stopped. And then she said, can you see it? And then they said, what? Shri Radha Kalachandji, they're dancing in the temple room. So she had so much love for the deity, she dressed them and so on, but she's in the last few days of her life, and therefore, it's very sacred. That's what I'm saying. So although we are sitting here not understanding, but actually this is very sacred. This is an extension of the inner sanctorium sanctum. Okay? Yeah. This is Balaram's energy here. 37. Sannyasis should bathe 3 times a day, grihasthas and brahmacharis at least twice a day. Okay? All of you, make sure you take bath at least once. 38. After touching the inside of the mouth, nose and ears, and touching the eyes, one must wash one's hands. Okay, so I've noticed this. A lot of people nowadays, they touch their mouth and do gold digging and things like that. And yeah, and so, at least have an Achaman cup next time, Then we'll have to have everyone have one. Too many Achaman cups. But it'll be a good sales for Vrindavan, Yeah. So anyway, this is the rules and regulations section, because the next section is qualities of devotees, and I can't go into that. As I mentioned earlier, this class actually takes around 10 weeks of nice discussion in class environment, but this I'm just passing through, yeah. Okay, so thank you for your attention. If there's any comments, questions, or something you want to clarify, or you want to add something, yes, Prabhu.
If we are supposing in our work and happen to pass through evacuate,
Yeah.
and we are not able to take shower because there's no facility. In those conditions, what can we do? And as an addition to that, if we want to chant, can we chant, or do we have to wait to go home and then take a proper shower?
Why are you chanting in the office?
No, like if on the public transport on the way back we are
Oh, okay, okay.
silence chant.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe you shouldn't chant on the beats. Okay. Chant on what they now is very popular. No? You can use clickers, but ideally beats is the best. Now the other thing you can do is you can do Achaman. Om apirtro va pavitro sarvavatsam gatopiya. Okay, you can do that, but I don't know how clean you would be. But anyway, in circumstances, if it's difficult, then it's not like Krishna is so cruel that he say, "Oh, you chanted while you are dirty." It's not like that. It's just that we do it so we are always in the mode of goodness. Yeah. So the whole principles here, all these rules are to make you always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So when you're in the mode of goodness, it's easier to remember. That's the whole thing. Yeah, yeah. So if you can, you find a place to, maybe like some devotees, they'll go in the toilets and have a shower with the hose or whatever. Don't do that. Although I'm saying it, don't do it. Yeah. So yeah, come home, take a shower, and then chant nicely. Yeah. Chant extra rounds. For the rounds that you were chanting in a different mode. Yeah, thank you. Yes? Do not sleep in temple room. I was saying because this temple is a sacred space, and when you sleep you are actually creating an environment of ignorance. And the other thing I was mentioning is sometimes the deities come out to have fun. Okay? They may have their pastimes. So you shouldn't be here because you're not qualified to be here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we are all not qualified, not you. I'm using you in the general sense. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your insight on the union regulation. I'm a Uber driver.
Yeah?
If I drive a customer to a crematorium, do I have to is it considered clean as well, so I can take a shower?
I mean, do you go inside the crematorium?
You have to drive a car
Into the crematorium? Oh. Then yeah, after the end of your shift you go and take shower. Yeah. Or if you want to, you get out of the car and look for a shower, bed and bath. Yeah, but I don't think you need to do that. When you finish your shift, go and have shower before you do anything else. Yeah, yeah, that should be okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
You said that you should not tell a lie, but like sometimes during book distribution or something, we often say some lines to like get people, and sometimes they may not be 100% true. Like sometimes a simple Grihastha say, I'm a monk from a temple, or today is a international Gita, something like that. So in that case, is it fine to exaggerate or say something which is not necessarily true, or do we?
That's some people will say because you give them a book it's good, but what happens if they find out it's not the international day? Huh? Let's say they think, oh, then they come to the temple and then there's one bozo devotee here and say, no, today is not the international day. Right? Then you get into trouble. Better you can find out what is good here and then use that lines, There's no need to actually. You should sell the book on its own merit. Yeah. There's no need to, Once you tell one lie, then to protect that you'll tell another lie, and then to protect that, another lie. Yes? Why do you say sorry? You put in a plate, you sit in an asan, but the food shouldn't be in your thighs or so on. So it should be in front of you, yeah. Or you can have, sometimes you put, when you're eating on the floor, right, like in Mayapur, they put the leaves and so on. So it's okay in that way, yeah. But because when you eat, you're contaminating yourself, the body and everything, yeah. Otherwise, it's only that area. So another thing is, I've noticed devotees when they are eating, when someone senior walks up, they all pay obeisance. You can't pay obeisance because that place is already contaminated. So in your mind, you can pay obeisances. Once you clean the place, you can pay obeisances. Right? These are small things, but you all don't know because nobody has trained you all. Yeah. Everyone wants to be TED talker, but we have to first be devotee first. Yeah. Okay, anything else? Yes. Hare Krishna. I also added men and yes, yeah. Yeah, because that's how Sanatana Goswami wrote it, and I don't want to be arrogant to change it, but I add when I speak. Yeah. I also have to follow etiquette now. Yeah.
So my question is if that applies for vice versa also, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah. In the previous ages, the men were very qualified, so the women don't have to worry so much. So if the men go back to Godhead, they get free pass. Yeah, but in this age, the men are not so qualified. Yeah. I removed it so nobody can look at it and comment on it. Okay, go on. Last one.
You also mentioned not to take shelter of a fallen person.
Yeah.
What does take shelter exactly mean?
That means anything that happens in your life, you run to them first and say what to do, I'm in this difficulty, instead of running to a devotee or so on, yeah. Someone who's not a devotee, yeah, take shelter of them, yeah. Or some witch, yeah, some wizard, something like that, yeah.
Is it true that Krishna is more forgiving to women than men?
Is Krishna more forgiving to women than men? What do you all think, women? It's actually easier for a lady to love Krishna in the beginning, yeah. But I don't know whether it's more forgiving or not. I don't know. I think he's forgiving if you are sincere.
Because if you read Krishna's stories,
Yeah.
he's always very forgiving with women.
No, it's the etiquette. The women has to be protected and cared for, and that's the reason.
Right.
Saved by the bell. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki Jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki Jai, ISKCON Guru Vrinda ki Jai, Thai Gaura Premanandi, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Okay, take it away, singer. Who's going to sing?